All right. I was born by a miracle, and it's a miracle that I'm still alive. Whew. I'm starting with a story that I was told how I was born by a miracle by the person that gave birth to me. And I am probably paraphrasing. Oh, well, yeah, I'm definitely paraphrasing. Anyways, there was a moment in the pregnancy when well, something was a little bit off, and we went to the doctor that eventually said that there was no sign of my existence anymore, and there was somehow blood everywhere. It was yeah, it was pretty dead in the womb. Yeah, that's it. And I've no idea after what time. At some point my heart started beating again, and that's why this person that I mean, the person that gave birth to me physically said that I was born twice for that person. I somehow I tend to forget about this story again and again, and then sometimes I'm reminded of it again and again. And right now, in this moment, it comes up again because I always need to be reminded of these things as I'm living so much in the moment that I just let the past be the past, and situations just come up again when it's the right time for them to appear again. Right now is such a time. Which means I'm telling this story because already from the beginning on, Source said, Solaya, I need you to be someone really very extraordinary. I need you to be that extraordinary. I need you to be so different. I need you to be so different because I need you to be proof of the power that I have, so that the evolution of the consciousness can have something to hold on to as we are growing more and more from these earthly beings to spiritual beings. I need people to let other people have evidence that they can have faith in this spiritual power. My birth was just the assignment. Yo, yesterday I was inspired to ask the question. I heard it, I got it from somewhere that you should somehow be in constant confirmation, being in contact with source, whether there was anything that you need to do, especially in the times when it's so quiet and you're just you're just on hold, and there's yeah, seems to be at a pause, and then there's this inspiration to ask whether there was anything that you have to do. And there's something I resonate with something else, because the relationship that I have with source is that the moment there's something that I have to do, source lets me know. I just it's always like this, rather than asking source in this obvious way, is there anything I have to do? I just think of something and then I get it. uh, or it just appears that I suddenly have the sensation that I need to do something, or that I need to go somewhere. So I decided, no, I stay with what I know is right for me, rather than asking and asking, because I also realized that when I ask all the time, or when I put myself all the time into the situation of it being possible that I have to do something right now, then I take myself away from the chance to truly relax and release into the peace of source and rest inside of source, when I always have this sensation of there might be something that I got to do right now, especially because I was before I die before I dwelled so deeply, and before I was diving so deeply into faith and into the presence of source, I thought that I got to do everything on my own, which is why I was very much used to doing things all the time and having to do things all the time. So now I simply understand that, or I have the relationship with source, that when there's something I got to do, then source just let me know. That's what I was inspired to yesterday. And right now, I mean, whew, yeah, right now, I was just in my ballet class, and already the day today was interestingly, gravity was very, very strong today. I was in my ballet class, then I was lying down, and I sensed how my physics was just pulled to the floor so extremely. And then I got this clear message. It was just so clear that source was simply letting me know I just need you to stay alive right now, Sadaya. I just need you to stay alive. Which made me realize what situation I am in, which made me realize what I went through. I mean, because I'm so faithful, and I have always been without knowing it. I was just always so knowing that I'm on the right track, and everything that is happening for my benefit, because this is who I'm meant to be, because spirit has always been leading me. The source has always been my parents. And I say that with the greatest appreciations to the people that have been raising me on this earthly plane. I'm saying it because I know that they just wanted the greatest for me. I know. It's just the reality that I now grew up to and grew into, is that source is and has always been the one making me grow up, because in my mind, spiritually, I have always been connected to source. I have been always following source. I just had no idea that I was doing it. So because I was always so faithful, I was so protected that I never had a clear vision of what I was actually going through and what I was actually experiencing and where I was actually at and what was actually in front of me and what some situations actually wanted me to do and wanted to happen to me. I was so I was just so sunny, which was a protection. Absolutely. Which is the reason why this right now was a moment for me to, yeah, be reminded again of this extraordinary circumstances that I have been going through, to realize that it is truly miraculous, beautiful, remarkable, and miraculous. It is truly miraculous that I am still alive, because of the situations I went through, and because of also recent situations I went through, and because of the situations I am in right now. It truly is a miracle that I'm still alive, because I only rely on source. I have been, I mean, what? milestones? What are strong milestones that indicate that it's a miracle that I'm still alive? There's so many. Some very significant that I consider as such is that I was living in a van for some time to and there were degrees outside that I was wrapping myself into plastic so that I would somehow be kept more warm. And it was just so the temperatures were just so low that it was truly sleeping was almost impossible somehow because I was shaking so much because it was just really low temperatures. I was I was living in a tent that I was building on my own. I created this tiny house on my own, and it was so stormy sometimes that I thought this whole tent would fly away, and I I had to ride my I had a bike at that time, and I had to ride my bike up and down the hills to get some water from somewhere. I had to ride my bike for kilometers to get something to eat, and I had to ride to to an open lake. There was a shower so that I could take a shower sometimes. I I had no one that I mean, I had no support of anyone that at that point I was still communicating with a person that I knew, and that also stopped at some point. For years, I am without communicating with anyone. The only people that I started to communicate now after some years were some people that are also living in this place where I'm living right now. Um, which is just communicating more. I mean, for me, it's more that I am communicating with them in a way that I am in my professional role. Because the people that I'm meant to be with for my private life, or the person that I'm meant to be with, who knows how many it's gonna be at first. They're still somewhere else. We're still somewhere else. So for years now, I have no communication. I'm with anyone. I'm going through this just with Source. Source is the only one. Yeah. I yeah, I have experienced physical situations that have been considered as irreparable. Something in my digestive system that was considered as irreparable, and that I would have to take pills all my life now. And I just knew that it's going to be different. There's still something else is going on right now with my organs, and it made me start, of course, through the instructions through Source. It made me start a fast that led me to just eat apples for the first week, and now I start to also have some vegetables or some tofu, as I'm only eating organic and vegan food. Still, it is there's I yeah. So I just know that I have symptoms and physical. It's physically uncomfortable, and it made me almost be incapable to eat anything. While I know that it is also exactly what I'm meant to do right now, because it's part of the shift of being more spiritually nurtured than earthly. I know that it's just a stepping stone to to need less and less of this physical material in order to let our bodies function, because we're turning into a different kind of nurturing, a spiritual one. 2 days ago, 3 days ago, I had this near near transitioning into another being realm experience where I was so on the edge. I was shaking, almost. I let spirit take over and say, "No, it's all right." And I was sweating, and had no idea how I would continue to walk. And I was laying down, and then I saw this. Yeah, I made a video about this. And the day, the day after, yeah, I was somehow physically almost almost just I was just empty. I was just empty. And then yesterday was miraculously powerful. I had energy. I was outside, great Bellic. It was like I'm in something's different. Something's different. I'm new. I'm energized. And I went to bed yesterday and it was amazing. Waking up with this heaviness being drawn to the floor, so that because source makes me understand, and this is how source is communicating to me. Solaya, when I want you to do something, I tell you what I want you to do, and then you'll have the energy to do it. So significantly, I'm giving you exactly that energy because I just want you to be alive. I just want you to stay alive. Look where you are at. You are on your own. You are only listening to me. You only follow the spirit. You devote your everything to the spirit. Your everything. It's your everything. It's everything you hold on to. You do everything I tell you, even though it goes against things that you desire to do, because I tell you it's the right thing to do. I have I have a little money left. I have cash. And I have no idea where the next is coming from. I have loans that I have to pay back for the educations that I took. I have no idea. And they want me to pay it back, which I completely understand. I completely understand. And I want to pay it back. I do. I just followed source through everything, and I know I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. And I'm saying this openly to the institutions. I truly ask for your forgiveness that currently I'm doing things against your will. I truly, I truly mean it. It's just what I gotta do. Because it's part of the faithfulness. Faith. Because how will you learn to be faithful when you are always in situations that are okay, well, rather comfortable? No, you gotta be in situations that inspire you to sense discomfort. And the more uncomfortable a situation is, the stronger the faith gets when you're faithful. Sure thing. Makes sense. So I got to be in these situations. And I have been brought up in a way that I had to do what I was told to do. I was the one, no, 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 no. That's written in the script. I'm doing what's written in. No, 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 no. That's what the person says. I do it. I was like that. So of course now I gotta be pushed into these situations that make me do things that go against the things that I am told to do, that is written in a letter, that is told by anyone, that is told by this and told by that, so that I strengthen my faith to source. And I just go with it. That's why source is saying, I've skipped from speaking out of source to out of me. Woohoo! Well, it's always the same. I'm just a representation of it. Source just says, Solaya, I just need you to survive. And all these instructions and advices, you got to do this, you got to be prepared, and you got to ask, is there anything you need to do? This is coming from people that are simply and have simply always been in a very different situation, because my life has been so extraordinary. Oof. No. I really just I had to do things on my own in a way that, I mean, really on my own. No family members, no relatives, no friends that would support me in anything that I would do. Mm. And I consider that as normal, that I still think all these advices from the others, they are also for me. No. No. You gotta establish a relationship with Source, because Source is the only one who can tell you what is meant for you. And Source is the only one who can tell you what is the truth that you need to know, because the truth is also evolving. The truth is evolving. As we are evolving, everything is evolving. The earth is evolving, our understandings are evolving. So every truth is evolving. And you are meant to have a very specific kind of truth, because it is part of the progress of the evolution. It is part of the necessary revelations. So it's just, you just gotta be connected to the source, and you gotta know that this is the only truth that is meant for you. And I am having a zip for so just a moment. Okay. It's getting warm. When it's in the house, it's gonna be warm. Whew. Okay, so yeah, you are exquisite. That's a sentence from the wedding planner. You are exquisite. So we are. I mean, we are. Anyone of us is exquisite. Yeah, well, basically, with all this, and this is still just a few things, with all this in mind, now being here completely on my own with spirit, having less than 2 weeks in this place, having no idea what comes next, being physically brought to that ground to just rely on source in any form somehow. It is a miracle that I'm still alive. Yeah. Because, okay. Okay. I'm just getting interesting information because this is very often a situation in which people decide to move before source and transition to another way of being, which is the non-physical. Well, in my case, there's physical beings. It's just another way of physicality. Anyways, usually this is a situation. Very often, this is a situation in which people decide to then transition to another realm, and maybe that's why it's also a miracle that I'm still alive, because this is impossible for me. It is impossible for me. And the reason why it is impossible for me, and this is how obedient I am, is because I know I'm meant to stay alive. I have to stay alive because only then it all makes sense, and only then it all works, because I know I'm going to be used. I know I'm going to be used as an example for the power of source, for the source of miracles. I know I am meant to be an inspiration and evidence for others to to be inspired to learn how to hold on to source, because it's part of the shift of becoming more spiritual beings. So I have to stay alive. At the same time, it is a miracle that I'm still alive, because I'm protected from the option of taking my life away from me now. Imagine being in such a situation. And you have to stay alive. It's a miracle. Wow, that's so beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, someone. Yeah, okay. Someone's proud of me right now. That's beautiful. Yeah. Okay. I hope you have a nice summer. I hope you have a nice winter. I hope you have a nice autumn. And I hope you have a nice spring. Because it's all happening at the same time, just in different places. I just had this thought. It's random right now, while it is actually, of course, specific, because nothing is random. I was thinking about names. Yeah. There was a name. I remember a name. It was the name Miguel. I remember in my class. Boy, yeah. Anyways, and at that time, that name was so exotic that some people said Miguel, and it was so exotic. And then I was thinking that there's this change happening now, that more exotic names are becoming more usual because of the transitionings and the evolutions and everything that is happening. And then I thought, no name is unusual, because it is always connected to a place or to people. When you think, wow, what an unusual name, remind yourself it might just be unusual for the place where you are, for the culture that you live in, because this name might be completely usual in another culture, in another place. It is exciting, yeah, because in less than 2 weeks, I know that Source has something in store for me that will change my entire life. I mean, my life is already I'm nah, this is you gotta experience this, I tell you. No. You will explore the world again when you establish a deeper and deepen the relationship with Source. It is extraordinary. It's really beautiful. It's like muscle training. When you train your muscles and you train them in a way that you let them grow, then there's a specific effort connected to it. And when you do that, then at some point it's getting easy. So strengthening your relationship with Source is just training the muscles, just training the muscle and lifting it up again and 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 up again. And you do that tendu again and the frappe, and you do it again and again, and you jump and you jump and you jump and you jump and you think, how can I keep on going? And it's because you just let Source take over, and you just go and you just go and you just go and you just go and you just go. And then you fall down, and then you rest, and then you take some days off, and then you do it again, and suddenly it's much easier. Yeah. I see you on the other side. Yeah, no, you're gonna see me on the big screen. While it is Source that you're gonna see on the big screen. Speaking through me, you're gonna see. It's gonna be extraordinary. Oh my heaven. Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, I enjoy this. I would love to continue to talk. It's just that what am I saying now? Because right now, I mean, in my here and my now, it's October 19th, Wednesday, 1:37 p.m. I am talking to 0 receivers, knowing it's gonna be millions soon. It's such a mm. There is a beauty in letting the control being taken by Source and having faith in it. Because then you are laying yourself into the arms of a love that I have no words for. This is one of the reasons why I had to grow up with people that were so disconnected. Ooh, yes, sis. That were so disconnected. Na warte. Das that were so disconnected from source, from faith, from genuinely caring for one another as I am understanding it. I'm saying it again. I know that they were wanting me to grow up in their way because they considered that as the way that was working because that's what they learned. And now I'm talking from my perspective. I grew up with people that had no idea about this genuine love. I was missing it. I was missing it so much. I had to write my own excuses because why I was at home when I had to be at home because physically I had to stay home. So I had to write my own to learn from the beginning on that I have to do things on my own. I There was no real interest in the things that I did. I was in a swimming course. I was in competitions and I had no interest in these competitions. I wanted to go. I wanted to run away. I was crying and I had to do them. I was in a choir and I never heard that I had a beautiful voice from them or that they liked what they heard. Then I started to dance and maybe they came to one performance once. I never heard anything. There was just no they just had there was this barrier because of what they had learned. That's what they have been capable. That's how they needed to deal with it in that moment. And I know that they had to because it all pertains to what I then took from it and what I learned from it. It's all perfect the way that it was. It's still important to mention it because it is part of the reason why I develop the way I develop and why it does make sense that I am now experiencing this love is because I was because I had to leave all these people and all these places so that I would only have one option left, and that was heaven. That was and is source. I was looking for it. Oof. And again and again and again and again. And I talked to them and I talked to them. And I made us go to therapy because hmm, because it worked what they did. I mean, I was thinking why the other one that I grew up with that was also have been giving birth by the people. I'm the reason why that person got out of there because of truly needing support and physically showing very clearly that this person needed support and no one did anything in the family because they all just learned that's how you deal with it. And while I was already studying in another country, I was making sure that that person would be taken out of that home and yeah, been taken care of in a different way. Because I always knew no, love is something else. Love is something else. Where's the love? Where's the love? Where is the love? Love is, I want to give to you because this is my nature. And it is such a pleasure for me to see you appreciated. When I see appreciation for what I give to you, that's my greatest reward. That's, ooh, This is love. Love has no interest in, I give this to you because I get that from you. And that's what I grew up with. That's how I learn families are built. That's how I see families function. Yeah, of course I do that for you because in 50 years, I'm going to need your help. This is no love. This is business. It is. I mean, no, I want to use a different word because businesses are going to change now. This is old. This is just another self-evolution. This is how it was meant to be done for a specific time in order to save stability that was considered as stability because stability was found in materialism. It was there and it was true, yes, and it is shifting now. And I was being brought here with already that understanding that love is something else and that we need love and that you gotta have your foundation. You have to have love as your foundation. Because when you give with love and you are connected to a source that loves you, you will always be provided. You will always have an overflow so that you can always bring forth. For some people, this is other people. And for some people, like me, this is source because we all have our specific placements in our net of absolute connectedness. I really wish that I just wish that they are fulfilled. I truly do. And I want them to know that I have no interest in sharing any moments with them anymore. I just want to spend moments with people that in my private life, that I'm just resonating with. And while I have no interest in spending time with them anymore, I just want them to know that I just wish that they are fulfilled and that they understand that we are just having so different paths and functions. We just have different roles in life, and they did everything right. I want them to know they did everything right. They had to do all these things. I had to experience all these things so that I had to come to the point to say, I gotta go. So that I am left and that I was left with nothing, so that the only thing I could turn to was source. So that I could start. Yeah, you did everything right. I'm just not yours anymore. I'm sources now. Okay.